I thought my life was perfect. For years, my wife, Sara, and I had built a solid foundation based on trust, love, and understanding. We were happy. We had everything. Our careers were doing well, we had a home, and we shared a close circle of friends. I never questioned our relationship. I thought we were a team, that we could handle anything life threw at us. But one day, I started noticing things that felt off. It was subtle at first. Sara wasn't home as often. She'd say she was meeting friends or working late, but something about her excuses didn't sit right with me. She had always been home more, and our time together had been something I cherished. Now, it seemed like she was always busy, always finding ways to be away from home. The tipping point came when I picked up her phone one evening to check something. I wasn't snooping, but there was a message that caught my eye. It was from a number I didn't recognize saying, "I can't wait to see you tonight." That was all it took. My heart dropped. A wave of emotions rushed over me. Anger, confusion, betrayal. I had never expected something like this. Sara had always been so honest with me. At least that's what I thought. I knew I needed to get to the bottom of this, so I started paying more attention. Days went by, and I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. I decided to confront her. I asked her one night what was going on, if there was something she wasn't telling me. She looked at me, almost shocked that I was asking, and quickly dismissed my concerns. "You're overthinking," she said. "Nothing is going on. You're being paranoid." But the seed of doubt was already planted, and I couldn't let it go. A few days later, I decided to follow her. I didn't know what to expect, but I had to find out. That evening, I saw her with another man at a fancy restaurant. They were laughing, talking, and holding hands across the table. My worst fears were confirmed. She was cheating on me. I felt like the world had been ripped out from under me. The trust we had built over the years, the life we had shared, it all felt like a lie. I couldn't believe it. I wanted to scream, to confront her right there, but I didn't. Instead, I walked away, my heart heavy with pain, my mind racing. The next few days were a blur. I didn't know what to do. I was angry, hurt, confused. Everything was falling apart. I thought about confronting Sara, about yelling at her, demanding answers. But then something clicked. I realized that reacting in anger wouldn't fix anything. It would only make things worse. If I wanted to teach her a lesson, it had to be done in a way that would affect her deeply, without me losing my dignity. So, I decided to take a different approach. I told Sara that we needed to take a break. I needed space to think, to clear my mind. I didn't want to make any rash decisions, but I knew I couldn't keep living this way. She seemed confused, even a little dismissive, but I stood my ground. I didn't wait for her to beg me to stay, because deep down, I knew she didn't truly understand the gravity of what she had done. Her actions had shattered my trust, and it was something she couldn't just fix with an apology. For the first time in years, I focused on myself. I threw myself into my work and started taking care of things I had neglected. I got back to the gym, spent more time with friends, and found joy in the little things again. I realized that I didn't need her approval or validation to be happy. I could rebuild my life on my own. I became stronger, more independent, and most importantly, I became someone who no longer depended on another person for their happiness. The more time passed, the more I understood that my self-worth wasn't tied to her or anyone else. I wasn't going to let her mistakes ruin me. Sara tried to contact me after a few weeks. She apologized, said she was sorry, and admitted her mistake. She claimed that she was confused and that the relationship had gone stale. But at that point, I was no longer the same person. I had spent enough time healing to realize that the love and trust I had once given her weren't easily replaceable. And while I cared for her, I had learned to value myself more. When we finally spoke face to face, she was full of regret. She said she missed me and wanted to fix things, but I didn't feel the same. I realized I had already moved on. I had learned to live without her, and I had learned to live for myself. I didn't need to get back at her or make her feel the pain she caused me. My actions had already spoken louder than any confrontation could. I had taken control of my life, and that was the lesson I wanted her and myself to understand. Life would go on, whether or not she was part of it.